Lost Gamer. He didn't make them like that. He just approved them. Just let him be.
No, I need Aloha time. I didn't sit time with this happened.
He came in at like 5:15.
Must have been nice.
What must have been nice?
Having more people to sleep in their beds with.
Hey, as long as he's got a full bed to himself and there's a person in it, he's gonna sleep in it. Well, you have to clear 4 times and you can't pick the housing item anytime, is the other aspect about it. Alright, let's see how it is with Paladin on these floors. I'm curious to see how. I don't even know where all my Paladin keybinds are. I'll figure it out as I go. I'll figure it out as I go. I really just need to farm 21 to 30 if I'm going to do any sort of solo attempts at some point. I'm going to put the Empyrean potions on my bar, but I shouldn't need them for a while. Yeah, because you specifically need all 4 accessories. It's not just beating it 4 times. It's also making sure you have all 4 accessories in particular. So, if at any point... Why did I do that? If at any point you take the housing one, then, well, kind of screws you on that end. At least I have Clemency. How much does Clemency heal for at this level? It's not a lot. Holy moly. Alright. Yeah, these earlier floors were the toughest when I did them on other jobs. Although I also didn't have a heal like Clemency on Monk, so... stretches things out a little bit more. Well, no, damage is pretty bad without strength commanders on these early floors in general. I mean, obviously, being Paladin, it's going to be worse right now. But it's still not great. The first, dude, I'm telling you, the first 10 floors are the worst part. It's so weird, but it's true. That's right, I need to actually put Provoke on my bar. Need to be able to pull these things from really far. What's going on, Darkstar? How you doing? Pacification is super good, though. Like, across all of Palace of the Dead, I think Pacification is kind of like a... not a secret tool, but it's a tool that goes a little underappreciated. When people talk about, like, Paladin being good for Palace of the Dead, it's almost never... there's almost never any talk about Pacification. But it is a really, really good tool for Palace of the Dead. One that should absolutely not be underestimated. You also have some fairly decent OGCDs and a constant roll of defensives, so... and Hollowed Ground. Paladin just has a lot of good stuff for both solo and for group play. I mean, that's kind of how Paladin always has been, but in a place of the difficulty of Heaven on High, it just kind of, it shows, I guess, a little bit better, in a sense. Yeah, I mean, that's a big reason. Pacification is just not really an aspect of the job you can even talk about in most content. So when you actually do get to use it in places like Heaven on High, though, it's so valuable. Like, you can just outright negate 6 seconds of potential weapon skills. It's like, you don't get that on many other... on anything else, really. Like, on this enemy in particular, it doesn't matter, because all the attacks inflict heavy. But on other... and it's just also another OGCD for damage, which is never a bad thing. But on something like this Mutsu, for example, this guy has a physical vuln, so, like, proccing it on him is a little bit more valuable. So, like, I didn't do it there because too slow. I just wanted to make sure to aggro the shark right away. Shark, one of the most dangerous enemies in here. I'm just gonna hollow this. I was like, I'm in the middle of my rotation. I'm just gonna hollow it. I'm not going to use Hollowed for most things, so I was like, I also kind of forgot what Shield Bash was on my bar. So for that, you really want to Shield Bash. You want to interrupt whatever you're doing on these guys to stun whenever you see Jaws. Jaws actually won't kill me as a Paladin either. I can pop any sort of defensive and it won't kill me, but it's something that is very much worth considering. It's also nice to just on auto attack get a little bit of extra potency from Sword Oath, but it won't kick in until we get to a higher floor. I actually plan on using probably the most Pomanders to get through 1 to 10 as opposed to all the rest of the floors. It just sucks. 1 to 10 is just a terrible set of floors. Sight, I don't really care about that. Yeah, I have a flight and a sight. I have a flight in my sight for my flight or flight, yeah, right. Intervention. Not as valuable in solo. Not quite as valuable as some of the other skills we've just spoke about. Yep. I mean, yeah, those areas are also kind of designed to be that way on purpose. I mean, just because of the type of content they're trying to replicate. It's almost, you know, it's pretty much, I guess, directly relatable to the two, between the two, I suppose. Magicites? That's not Magicite. That's not even close to being Magicite. Yeah, see, like, for the very first floor, this is really slow. Although, this is about the speed my monk went on the first big floor that I got, so it's not actually that much different. Oh, did he drop? Oh, he dropped the gold. I have to go back that way anyway. Mostly just because leveling up in these first few floors isn't nearly as important as other things. Like, I'll probably just grab that silver and then go up. Because I really just need a strength commander to go through the early floors. It's just, I can't believe how underscaled you are for the first few floors in terms of power. It's not even about your character level is the weird thing. You think it might be, but it's not. Just gotta look for those commanders. And flighting doesn't help too much. Fortune will help on the next floor, so I gotta kill a lot of enemies to get leveled. I just noticed there's no Aloha at my feet anymore. Wait, I just realized, where's my FC buffs? FC, don't be lazy. Alright. Hey, gold chest. Be a strength. That's not a strength. Frailty is, I mean, as good as a strength for 3 minutes. As long as I'm fighting the enemies. Yep, we beat floor 100 earlier. So I decided I wanted to spend a little bit of solo time in there. I want to try it on a pretty big variety of jobs. Samurai's actually one I'm looking forward to doing it on. After the discussions we had yesterday during my monk solo, I was like, you know what, I actually really want to try the Samurai solo. What's going on, Gib? How you doing? Any advice? So there's one of the biggest things is there's different quest symbols that you should look out for. First, let me thank Sidrath. Sidrath, good to see you again. Thank you for supporting the stream with that Twitch Prime sub. Thank you for supporting the stream, and of course,
welcome to the Mr. Happy Army.
Get some sub hype in the chat, please, for it, Sidrath. Big thing is, it's very easy to get lost early on if you don't know what the different quest symbols mean, especially if, you know, you're someone who wants to go fast and not really reading all the text. I'd recommend stopping to read as much text as possible, especially if you're interested in the story. But if you're not looking to really go that route too much, make sure you just understand quests that are like blue with a plus sign. You generally want to stop and do those. There's a few cases where you don't, like certain quests, like relic quests and stuff, where you may not want to actually just straight up stop what you're doing and do that. But those are good. Those usually unlock new features like dungeons and glamour, and they unlock a ton of new features. The main story quests are the ones with the little that are surrounded in like a little fire symbol. They almost look like a meteor. Basically, it is a meteor symbol, but you know. So doing those is required to get to later parts of the game to unlock certain stuff. So make sure you definitely do those. Other than that, just read your skills. I mean, it depends on what job you're playing, but as long as you're aware of what your skills do, I mean, that's something, believe it or not, a lot of players don't bother doing early on. They just kind of do whatever, you know, takes them in whatever direction they need to go. Evangelists, thank you for supporting stream. No, I didn't get either of the mounts. I need to kill it 3 more times to get the other mount, but I don't have the dodo or the other new one. What's going on, Joey? How you doing? Fight or flight? Yeah, right. Play what you want is fine, yeah. Don't get me wrong, there's meta, but everything's cleared everything, so it's not super strict. Some people, I guess, enforce it a little bit more strictly than they need to, but I want that dodo. That dodo. Blinded. That is not fun. And get used to deep dungeons, especially if you plan on leveling multiple jobs. The biggest thing that's going to be tough for people who come over from WoW is the global cooldown is very long. There's a lot to do with it, but until you gain a few levels, it won't feel like there's a lot to do with it, is the problem. Like, you can see how many skills I have, and in combat, you'll actively use the majority of these skills. I mean, you can see me kind of rotating between the vast majority of them now. If by joke floor you mean it... Oh, hold on, I'm actually gonna stun this guy first. Might actually hollow it again just to play it safe. Yep. Yeah, there's no boss on the 100th floor. God, these first floors, you know, it's really nerve-wracking. Even if I try to stun, I'm blinded on this floor, so. Alright, figured, why not? Ugh, so annoying, the blind. I mean, I just party finder shit occasionally, audience. Not exactly something I would plan on giving away. I mean, I like the story and I like the bosses and the content. I like the update schedule. Please, no trapperoos. It feels pretty good to not have to run into the middle of the room to pull enemies. I would say I'm content. Yes. Balana, who I thought might be going to sleep. Of course, my other thing, my friggin' pacify missed. Because blind floors are great. God damn it. Alright. Alright. Didn't miss that one, thankfully. Of course, my shield swipe once again missed. Getting great luck with these blind hits. Luckily, I'm a paladin, so I have some privileges. It takes so long. Although I did go through floor 2 pretty quick. Because it was a very small floor. Ah, shield swipe, stop missing! Oh god, he's hitting me real hard. Look at that. Look at this. Oh, I hate the early floors. Almost had to friggin' shield off that. I mean, I know you have the physical bonus, just they die so slow with the blind.
Almost 55 million views on YouTube. GZ Haps.
The Yub Tubs. Thank you. Pacification. I literally answered you, Audie. I literally answered you. So, Gib. Depends on the month. I mean, that's still morning, Gib. What's going on, Syquera? How you doing? Still morning. It's always morning. If it's always morning, then it's never not morning. Enemy respawn right in the middle of the first room. I literally said, when I do certain content, I just throw it in the party finder anyway, so I wouldn't give away runs. It's not like it's some great privilege. I'm an otter. Hello, otter. You know what sucks is I was gonna run the otter way, but I decided not to. Well, there's no traps in this room anymore, so. Black coffee always. No, he said they're not adding more floors to Heaven on High. Mostly because feedback was that after floors 180, or Palace of the Dead, the only real fun floors people had were the very last floors. So, adding more isn't really going to change the experience much. Thanks, Audie. Oh, can I do this without fighting? Yes, I can. Rather just wait till the next floor. I agree, Cadence. I agree. HP, alright, I'll take that. I'll also use that, because the next floors after the first 10 are not nearly as bad. Give me a Magicite. I want Magicite. That's not Magicite. It's meant to be done as a team help. Every floor this will get easier, thankfully. Things are gonna get easier. Hey guys. I don't think he saw me. So just so you know, that's officially a safe area for patrols. I get Requiescat at 68. And I already have Holy Spirit, so... At this level with steals, I can feel free to use Holy Spirits to help with the kill speed. No. There's a red mage who made it to 89. Another steal. Beautiful. Grab that silver right there. That's not a magicite. Ah, the beacon of passage is open. Oh, whoops. And we got a gold and a silver, and then I'll exit. I mean, Palace of the Dead is just longer. General rule of thumb, the longer something is, the harder to clear it is, because it means there's more time for somebody to fuck something up. It's not necessarily more difficult, it's just more room for error, more likeliness for someone to fuck up. Yeah, I'm going to FanFest. Jesus Christ. This is for level 61 plus, Kusera. Palace of the Dead stops being good at 61. So people will stop it at 60. It's actually okay up to 61. Should be okay. Alright. Gloom floors early on. My favorite. Actually, I'll pop this now. Might as well. That's a terrible sound. It is true, Fel. One shots bosses. Yeah, it's I'd say it's pretty popular. Depends on the floor and what level you are, because it scales with levels, Jack. Oh, I dropped a coffer. The Commander of Sight won't fight that. It's a pretty good amount regardless, though. Alright, I'm going to use that strength. Getting through these earlier floors faster is better than saving the strength. I think this is going to be another free. I've actually gotten a lot of these this time around. Holy shit, though. Oh, no, never mind. The floor is gloom. I was like, holy shit, that thing is fast. $61, Iceman. And you need to beat Palace of the Dead floor 50. I think that it is Bubble Bath and then Bubble Shower. They're both basically the same thing, except one doesn't have an indicator. Give me Magicite. That's not Magicite. Oh, enemy respawns. Hello. Bow. What's next? Come on, give me some good stuff. Alright, I'll take an affluence. That's on the next floor. That's not true. I've had affluences do great things for me. Ben Affluence is my hero. Another great character name for people running Palace of the Dead. If you just want to get people to laugh in your Palace of the Dead, just call yourself Ben Affluence. It's another... Dude, this is like the third 3-floor room I've had. Or like the fourth of them. I'm going through so fast. Yeah, 3-floor room. A 3-room floor. It's like a forest in a tree, you know? I don't think that'll go off, but I'll turn around anyway. Because he was pacified, so... No, it's definitely not better to solo. Odds of you making it through solo are far lower. I mean, you can make it to some degree. It's definitely not preferred. People just like the challenge of soloing. Red Mage, help. Another strength. We'll go and get that gold. I don't know. Red Mage already made it to 89. 90, if you get the right Magicites and Commanders after 90, I mean, you can blow through a lot of those floors in what is effectively no time at all. But if you don't, those floors are going to be nightmares. That was Petrification. Of course it's a trap. Steel. I shouldn't really need any steel commanders now. Boop. Yeah, it's 100 floors less to climb, so it'll naturally just be faster. Not wrong. Yo, biggest buff to Sword Oath was being able to auto-attack while looking away from enemies. Just saying. Massive, massive unspoken about buff. Just saying. I mean, but Sword Oath gets plus 50 potency every time, so. The unspoken about Paladin buff. $75 potency, my bad. Plus, you keep generating gauge. Ninjas love it. They love generating gauge with auto attacks. Alright, water 2 is a spell. It's like, he's pacified. Woo. Tough to Phoenix down. That's not useful. Strength is useful. No, enhanced cover. Even better. Actually, is there any enemy in the... Nope, alright. There is no hybrid. It doesn't exist. Nothing in this game is hybrid. No matter how many ways people try to define it, there is no such thing. You have one job, and that is your only job. You have one role, and that role is your priority. Alright, witching commanders for days, got it. I'll burn another affluence. I barely got any commanders. Hey! Finally a fucking auspice! Although Inugami is the defense one, which I don't really need that much. Well, White Mage does the most personal DPS of the healers. Last I checked. Given the opportunity to unlimited hit an enemy. Last I checked, White Mage is the Wreckaroo. Pretty sure White Mage is the highest. It's just very rarely are they given the opportunity to do so. Don't worry, Inugami, I'll be there. Lightspeed Gravity doesn't give you more gravities, though. It just makes them instant casts. I mean, it technically does because of the cast time, but it doesn't give you that many more. You still have to... You still are doing one gravity for GCD. It just makes it... Yeah, and it costs less mana. It's not like... It's just that the gravity's not nerfed anymore. Excuse me. Ango Mango. God, after the first few floors, it's just so much easier. Why do they have to make the first few floors so ridiculous? In terms of damage scaling. Safety, sure. Still need to go kill more bad guys anyway. Well, that's gonna get to me for a while. Ooh, there we go. Much better. I mean, you go through the first 10 floors so fast, it's just weird how the difficulty curves, like, downward. I love green DPS. Nice, Silent. Definitely try to save it. Try to save it for bosses. It's easier said than done because Magicites are always way more valuable. Although in solo runs, you could argue that the bosses are still worth it. It's just none of the bosses are bad to the point where you really need Magicites. Or you really need Odin's Magicite in particular. 40th floor boss is basically the same as the first boss. It's just, it doesn't knock back. Just don't get knocked back into AoEs and you're fine. Super easy. Why, hello. Come here, buddy. Ah, I didn't do it fast enough. It's fine. Yeah, it's a good tip for the bosses. Give them just the tip, though. Yeah, the new commanders are quite good. I'm sure the snail elected that job. He's like, I elect myself to be a patrol. I don't know if I'll be able to catch him if I do reach him, but I'll be a patrol. Pacification is the greatest thing that's ever existed. That is also not a Magicite. Hello, snail. I mean, this snail moves pretty quick, admittedly. Okay. Didn't really do that much. It was just... didn't want to deal with it. That's actually good to know. I didn't know if the concealment one worked on fake exits also. I mean, it says it conceals you from traps, but it doesn't work against mimics, so the fake exits, I guess because they're considered floor traps, it works. Commander of Steel can't even use it. Hello? I would like to combo, please. Serenity. Serenity now! I'm gonna just walk through the middle of the room. What's the worst that could happen? I was kind of hoping something bad would happen, because that would have been highlight worthy. Tried to bait Mother Nature, try to bait fate there. Great bait fate. You're my mate, that I rate 8 out of 8. I'd like to get to level 68 before going up to the next floor, so can we make that happen? Oh. Pacified, bitch. Okay. Pacification. Doesn't matter for that one attack in particular. Got it. Wasn't immune to the pacification. Just didn't care. I mean, the good news is, Ryu, is that you will get it as soon as it becomes available. I can't even use that strength. Of course it was. Oh, of course. How did I not figure that out? To be fair, if you dash into a bomb, into a monster, into a middle of a room, you kind of deserve to eat shit. You've kind of broken all the rules of successfully clearing Palace of the Dead. Or Heaven on High, either or. I'd say at that point you kind of deserve it if it happens. There we go. Request cat. I mean, honestly, Request Cat's more for the healing in here than for the Holy Spirits. Oh, wait, that guy dropped a gold chest. I didn't even notice. I'll go back and get it. I got time. Intuition. I'll probably use a strength and a steel on the boss. You don't really need it, but I don't really need it for many floors until later, so.
You doing alright?
I'm doing alright. I can't use it on this floor, though. That would be correct, Remedy. Yes, we did. Mercy, we got there earlier. Felt real good, man. Not gonna bother with the frailty. To be fair, I didn't need to bother with anything, so... Hello, Mojaboon. Remember our Paladin saying it didn't work here? Actually, did that Requiesce get too soon? Solo got to 61 on Monk. Where is Tempered Will anyway? Yeah. He told me Tempered Will didn't work. I just figured I'd give it another shot. One more auto. Thank you. Oh. Come here. So you don't have to, so you can't ignore that mechanic, that's why. There's plenty of mechanics in the game that do that where it doesn't work. This isn't a spot I necessarily expected to see it, but it doesn't surprise me. But I figured with the healing, even with the floor 60 boss, you know, being a boss, I figured it probably wouldn't be too bad. I didn't even stop to try and heal myself yet. Guess I'll do one. I'll do one for good measure. Sphia might have summoner perspective. Sphia is generally my go-to reference for caster stuff. Just because A, I don't know any better, and B, he's beat it on Black Mage. So, it's generally a good source. Yeah, as soon as you get past 440, that's pretty normal. Even at 99.99, it's not capped at 440. Or it's not synced anymore at 440. I don't even think Hollows would stop the knockback here. Just die. I wasn't sure how. I know it's not lethal to get hit by that, but I was like, I'm at half. Maybe I should play it a little sooner. I don't think anything but Red Mage is going to be able to solo to 100. I think anything with enough luck could possibly do it, but the amount of luck you need is staggering. I don't know why I walk to the exit still. I still do it. I always walk to the exit out of habit. I very rarely use the exit from the menu. Alright, let's keep going, Paladin.